Wow, the New York Times has done some vigorous research and reporting on the State of the Union tonight. They write, fueled by throat-soothing tea, guided by teleprompters and surrounded by 6 aides and 1 historian, President Biden spent hours at Camp David last weekend honing a State of the Union speech that will be watched by one of the biggest audiences before the November election. Really? Will it? The final speech, which aides say will be edited up until Mr. Biden gives it, will be delivered by a president under pressure to reassure voters that he's not too old for the job. So they talk about in the speech prep sessions. Now, I want you guys to hear. We're joined by Pat Gray from Pat Gray Unleashed. Pat, I want you to hear, because this is different. Listen to the rigor of this. Mm-hmm. In speech prep sessions, Mr. Biden goes through the material line by line.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
He marks up words and creates breaks to remind himself to navigate around a stutter he's had since childhood.
Oh.
If he lands on a passage that he does not think feels like something he would say, he marks it out.
Wait, what?
No.
Yes.
Himself?
One former speechwriter described this phase as an exercise in trying to capture Mr. Biden's extemporaneous thoughts and put them down on the page.
That's the type of word he would skip.
Extemporaneous.
Yes,
I would have X'd that out.
Yes, right, exactly.
Which, by the way, if he's doing it in advance, it's not extemporaneous.
Thank you.
Can we go ahead and notice that as well?
We're trying to capture that.
They're trying to capture that.
Speechwriters are trying to capture that.
Wait, so basically they're trying to fool us.
Yeah.
They said that the president works hard and rigorously each year, adding that he knows it's his one chance to lay out an agenda every year for progress.
And show us just how vigorous he really is.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
And so he works vigorously once a year? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
He works vigorously each year was
each
the quote?
Year,
yeah, okay.
I will tell you, now, that incredible speech prep session that they have is what I like to call speech writing.
Mm-hmm.
I could also say...
Would you call it that, speech writing? The fact that he's kind of correcting some
speech
words?
writing process.
Okay.
I'd say this is done by anybody who's ever spoken in public before.
Right, and it's the last step in that process.
Yes,
like what you're describing is the
is.
final checkup.
Yeah,
right?
he's not speech writing.
No.
He's rehearsing.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what he's doing.
I don't like this part. Let me take that out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the basic
I'm going to have
thing.
a hard time with that one, so let's take that. Let me separate this sentence. That's not speech writing even. That's part of the speech writing process.
Yeah.
Which means that
small
there's
part.
also going to be 3 words that are spoken tonight because he has a hard time with all of it.
A lot of
there's
words.
about 3 words he can say.
Very few words.
Except at this particular thing. I don't know what they do to him, but I think he's got a cocktail.
Yeah,
Banana
he's hopped
bags,
up on something.
like crazy. But
I
is.
agree. And I will say, of all the problems that Joe Biden has, the highest profile events are not his worst moments.
No.
Would you agree with that? I mean, he's almost like he gets up for the big games a little bit. Now, I think drugs are probably involved in that process, but his problems almost always are he's just like walking by, like in an ice cream store.
Correct.
And there's cameras there and he looks like a complete idiot. Like it's not usually those big moments you'd say, okay, he's got to nail this.
Correct.
He's usually bad in those moments, but not catastrophically bad.
I think he will be tonight.
Do you?
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see how it's avoidable.
Dr. Nick has already been called.
Dr. Nick.
He's already been called.
Yeah.
He's probably got the IV running through him
No,
right
I'm sure.
now.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But this speech is usually almost an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes it even exceeds that. If he cuts it down to maybe 5 minutes, maybe he can get through. He can't get through an hour. There's no way.
Now, he did not get through an hour last year. He was bad in the last half of that, but he got through the first 20 minutes or so okay for him, and that was enough. Most people tuned out. I was listening to Corinne Jean-Pierre do an interview this morning, which is always an adventure.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And of course, first of all, they asked a specific question. is he preparing for like hecklers? Like if the Republican hecklers come out.
Oh, he's got some great one-liners, I'll bet.
There are massive amounts of reporting saying that he is.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Of course, she denies it, says he is not doing that. Yet another lie. But they went back to, and what about last year? He had that amazing response last year. And I'm like, amazing response to the hecklers? I don't even remember this. They play it back. He says, the Republicans want to get rid of Social Security. Republicans go, no. Of course, I don't know if that should be the Republican position, but that's aside. They go, no. And he goes, oh, well, I guess we all agree now that Social Security is off the books.
That was the amazing.
That was literally the clip they pulled to highlight how good he is to heckler. Now, I think what he was going for was off the table.
Yes.
So he didn't even say the right thing. Off the books? What the hell are you talking about?
Of course, there's a lot of things off the books in Washington. That's a problem.
I know you say that to Hunter all the time. Make sure this is off the books, but this is supposed to be a different speech. I mean, amazing. Jeez. Like, that's his good moment? But I will say, compared to him on a daily basis, in these moments, he's been like a D- instead of an F.
He's going to know how to get off the stage. Tonight,
think?
he will know.
He will know, probably.
Maybe.
I think he might need a little help, but he might be able to get off the stage.
Maybe.
With assistance. Some kind of assistance.
They got
Jill's
those 3 stairs up to they put a chairlift in. Just bzzz.
Oh, so God, that would be awesome.
That'd be hysterical.
That would be funny.
Because that was the Bill Maher thing. Did you see this the other day where Bill Maher's like, you should just lean into it. Like, I'm really old, but I'm better than that guy. Like, that should be his campaign.
Yeah.
And then he should come out with one of the chair rails and just like come up onto the stage.
It's funny.
You know
that
who
would
do
be
that?
funny.
You know who would do
funny.
that? Donald Trump. Donald Trump would lead into whatever he would make it into a joke.
Leans in.
He always he leans into
Lean into it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Like when he's on with like Sean Hannity, and Hannity's like, well, you would never obviously become a dictator. Yeah, I would. Day one. I'm a dictator. That's me. Like, that is what he does.
Yeah.
He's a yes and guy. He's like when you go to improv class and like never say no when they're in the middle of an improv class. Say yes and then come up with a scenario. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He's like, I would totally be a dictator. Let me tell you the 10 things I would do. Like, that's what he leads in.
Problem is, they bought into that. Anything he says, they naturally pick up on, even when he's just doing funny rhetoric.
So let me ask you this. What will he address? Will he address the border? And will it only be a blame on the Republicans?
Yes, blame it on Republicans.
Yes and yes. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the economy. Same thing with inflation, shrinkflation.
And we're going to hear the 14 million job number that he's created.
Been fact checked, by the way, to give the mainstream media credit. Fact checked him on that number 1,000,000 times.
Nonsense.
And said that it's a lie.
It's garbage.
Same thing with the deficit number.
Yeah.
That it's a lie and at least a massive
How could he possibly say he's cutting the deficit when we are spending $1 trillion over budget every 100 days?
He's a liar.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very easy for him to do that because he doesn't care if it's true or not. When you separate yourself from the truth, you can say almost anything.
And it's like the other day when he was asked about his poll numbers and how bad they are. Check the polls, Jack. 5 in a row. I'm beating him. 5 in a row. Nobody can find 1 in a row.
Well, you can find 1.
I mean, maybe 1 from a while ago, but mostly he's losing in almost every poll.
He has led in 2 recent polls over the past. Let's see.
Would you do me a favor? Would you read those 3 times?
That's true.
I got 6 in a row.
These are since the 21st of February, going back then. Trump plus 6, Trump plus 2, Trump plus 4, Trump plus 2, Trump plus 4, Biden plus 1, Trump plus 4, Biden plus 1, Trump plus 2. Those are the recent polls, and he's obviously not winning.
It's just a flat out lie.
Just flat out,
flat out lie.
So what happens if Trump wins by 2?
Oh my God!
What happens if Biden wins by 2?
I can't even imagine how the country reacts to a situation like that these days.
I mean, that should be for all Nikki Haley people. For all Nikki Haley people who are like, I'm just not going to vote for him. I'm not going to vote for him. You have to.
You got 8 months here.
Yeah.
You got 8 months. Everyone needs to relax on that one. And people, look, there are certain people who will never vote for Donald Trump. if they are not across that line and they are leaning Republican, they're going to come back. It's 8 months of hearing Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I hope don't freak out.
Right
people freak out about, like, the Nikki Haley voter generally isn't even a Nikki Haley voter. Most of them are just protest votes against Trump. They're not big fans of Trump.
Many of them are, Democrats.
Many of them are Democrats. Many of them are independents. Now, of course, in a general election, by the way,
we
need to get some independents and Democrats. Some people need to. A lot of people seem to forget that. You do need those people. I don't think the approach of just mocking and belittling everyone who didn't vote for you is necessarily the right approach here, but you got 8 months, and probably it all works itself out. The question is, can you get the people who either didn't vote at all in these primaries, or people who, are in the middle and are considering you? Can you win those people over?
Do you think anybody's going to be watching this tonight? I mean, other than the usual people like us that are really, addicted to the news, or in our case, paid to watch the news.
Yes.
I mean, I just don't see this being a big audience.
I wouldn't if I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. It's too aggravating. It just enrages me, so I would just skip it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might.
That's why we're
a lot of
doing our
people are like
coverage
that.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, the coverage tonight will be really fun.
Yeah.
Glenn, you're going to be on. We also have Dave Landau on. Michael Malice is going to be on. Sarah Gonzalez. Jason Buttrell will be on, talking about a new documentary we're doing. It's going to be a really fun. It's a roast. We're not doing like serial. Oh, let's get into the number. No, we're going. We will fact check live as well, but we're going to be just mocking Joe Biden relentlessly.
Well, now that's not right.
Unless he does a great job. Maybe we'll just be won over by him. I don't know.
Sounds like you know exactly how he's going to perform tonight and what he's going to say.
I tend to think the ratings will be a little bit up for this one, because this is the first State of the Unions in all the other years. The non-election years are like, those are for political nerds. But we are getting into election season. Everyone knows now what the matchup's going to be. I think this one might be a little higher
they
rated.
say this is going to be the highest rated. This is what the White House or the New York Times said, the biggest audience he'll have until the November election. That's possible because they're not going to cover anything else that he does long form.
Yeah.
This might be the longest form thing he does until the election.
I think you're probably right on that. And I think, too, when you look at the ratings at the end of the day, you can't just add up what you see on the networks, because not only, we're doing coverage. I mean, Donald Trump is doing some alternate coverage now. A lot of people, this is getting a very wide split audience. I would watch this, but I would watch it on Blaze TV.
Yeah.
I would want to watch it be mocked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be watching it on ABC.
No.
Or even Fox. I just wouldn't be watching it.